So, good morning and welcome to this gentle yoga class, which will be every Friday at noon, unless otherwise posted and scheduled. I thank you for taking this time today for yourself to work on this yoga practice. Just a couple of tips before we get started. For any yoga session, just be very mindful of your body. Perhaps challenge yourself a bit, but just be mindful of how your body feels within every pose. Since this is a gentle yoga class, we will do most of our movements either seated, perhaps some standing positions. I will give an option for some of the more mobile positions, but for the most part, this yoga class is very slow going, very low intensity. So have a water bottle handy if you have one. It's always good to take water breaks. I will be using and just showing some modifications with some pillows and a block. So if you have anything like that to kind of help you get comfortable either in your chair or on your mat or on your seated position on the floor, it's nice to just have some props sometimes to be comfortable. So that's about it. So let's get started. So I will invite you to come either to your chair or your mat and just get into a comfortable seated position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sit on my block, or you could sit on a pillow. And if you're seated in a chair, just get in a comfortable position on your chair. And another way I'm going to get comfortable is use these pillows for support underneath my knees. So just get into your comfortable seated position, cross-legged position on your mat, or perhaps if you are in your chair, just a comfortable seated position in your chair with your feet out in front of you, feet perhaps 6 inches apart, legs at as close to a 90-degree angle as possible. And just bring your hands into your lap, or perhaps resting on the top of your knees. And we'll begin with our breath work. So first, just notice your breath, what it feels like on your inhale, what it feels like on your exhale. Just notice the different sensations that you feel, acknowledging that breath. I will invite you to bring your arms to your sides, palms facing outwards. On your inhale, bring your arms overhead. Big, deep inhale. On your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And if you would like, close your eyes during our breathing exercise if you feel comfortable. Arms back at your sides, palms facing outward. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Full inhale all the way to the top. On your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We'll do this for several sessions, several breaths. Arms overhead. Hands to heart center on your exhale. Just go at your own pace. Always inhale, bringing your arms overhead. And then exhale, bringing your hands down to heart center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Do this for 3 more breaths. Arms overhead. Hands down to heart center on your exhale. Do one more breath. Full inhale all the way to the top. Then exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. So from here, depending on your position, if you're seated in your chair or perhaps seated on the mat, we'll go into our side stretch. So bring your arms on either side, palms facing outward. Bring your arms overhead. Your inhale, interlock your fingers, release your index, stretch up as high as you can, and on your exhale, just tilt to the right, feeling that stretch in your left side body. Just remain here for one more breath. Bring your arms back up to neutral. Stretch up as high as you can, and on your exhale, come to the left side, feeling that stretch in your right side body. Just remain here for one more breath, breathing into your side. And come back up to neutral. Bring your hands back down to either side of you. On your next inhale, bring your arms overhead. And we're going to twist to our right side, bringing our left hand onto our right knee, and our right hand comes behind us. And if you are on your chair, perhaps just resting it on your hip. If you're close to the mat, bring your hand down to the mat or on the back of your chair. On your next inhale, stretch up, and ever so much more, just turn a little, twist a little more to your right, breathing into that stretch. And your gaze will be over your right shoulder or as close to your right shoulder as possible. Getting a good stretch in your neck as well. And on your next inhale, bring your arms overhead, neutral position. And on your next exhale, bring your right arm, twist to your left, right arm comes to your left knee, and your left arm comes behind you, perhaps resting on your hip, perhaps on the mat or on the back of your chair, depending on if you're in your chair. On your next inhale, lengthen your spine, and then twist ever so much more slightly to the left, bringing your gaze over your left shoulder if possible, or as close to your left shoulder as possible. On your next inhale, bring your arms overhead. On your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Arms come back down to either side of your body, palms facing outward. Sitting up nice and tall. And on your next, we'll do a neck stretch. So on our next inhale, bring your right arm over your head, reach it all the way over to your left ear, and just place it on your left ear, not pushing at all. And just feel the weight of your hand on your ear. Just let that weight sink in a little, getting a good stretch in your left part of your neck, perhaps your left shoulder. Just feeling the weight of your hands, not pressing, just letting the natural weight of your hand give you that deeper stretch. On your next inhale, bring your hand back down to your side. We'll do the same thing on our other side. So on your next inhale, bring your left arm over your head, placing it on top of your right ear, and just feeling the weight of your hands just resting on your head, and letting that be the way that you're stretching your right side of your neck. Perhaps feeling it in your right shoulder. Or more like traps, I think is what they are. Where I'm feeling it. Just feeling the weight of your hands, getting perhaps a little bit deeper stretch. And bringing your hand back down to your side. And for our next pose, we will be doing cat and cow. So we can do that in our seated position. I will start off by demonstrating the way that we can do that in our seated position. Bringing your hands to your knees or perhaps the mat in front of you, just resting them palms face down. We will come into our cow stretch first, bringing our chest through and our gaze comes up, arching our back a bit. On your inhale and on your exhale, rounding your shoulders, rounding your back, arching your back almost like a cat. And I'll do this one more time seated, and I will switch to the mat to show that way as well. So bringing your chest through, your gaze comes up, arching your back on your inhale, on your exhale, rounding your shoulders, rounding your back, feeling that stretch. And continue doing that for a few more repetitions if you like, or you can try it on the mat as well. So coming to a tabletop position, if you're on the mat, we will bring our head and our shoulders through, almost like stretching our neck forward for our cow, arching our back just a little bit. And then our cat position, pushing up like we might see our cat do if they're scared. Pushing, arching, or rounding your back, sorry. And back to cow. Chest comes through, gaze comes forward. And on your exhale, coming into cat. And sometimes I like to go onto the tips of my fingers for this one just to get a little bit of a deeper stretch in my shoulders. Rounding my back, feeling that through my shoulders. We'll do that one more time. One more cow. Neck stretched forward, shoulders down, nice and square. Feeling that arch in our back just a little bit. Then pushing to get that nice rounded back position, feeling it in our shoulders, even coming to our fingertips if you like. And then coming back to neutral. And from here, depending on if you would like to come all the way down to a complete seated position on the mat, your legs in front of you, that's one option. The other option, in your chair, we can do all of these positions in a chair as well. So I will demonstrate in the chair first. We are going to do a few core exercises. So if you have a block, place your block in front of you. Or if you're on the mat, just come to a seated position on the mat. So with your legs outstretched in front of you, if you're on the mat, or if you are in your chair, just having a little bit of a raise to your feet, we will come into boat position. So in boat position, we're bringing our arms in front of us. We're engaging our core. We come up, and even in this position, even from a chair position, we can engage our core, bringing our body up, coming to the balls of our feet even to get a little bit of a more challenge in our core muscles. And then come back down just a few inches. We'll do this for a few repetitions. Arms come up, engage your core. And then come back down. It's just a very slight movement if we're in our chair. And keep doing that if you are in your chair position. And if you would like a little more challenge, we can come down to the mat with our legs outstretched in front of us, about at a 90-degree angle. So from your chair position or from the mat, we'll come down just to where we feel our core muscles really engage. Then come back up. few inches. We'll do a lot of work. Do this a few more times. Back, down, until we feel our core engage. And back up, just a few inches. Back down, feeling our core engage, keeping our back nice and straight and strong. Just letting our core do the work. Come back up. And if at any point in time we feel a strain in our back, perhaps reducing our movement to just an inch or so. So coming back to where you feel your core engage. And come back up. We'll do this one more time. Back until our core engages. And come back up. And next we will do some Pilates roll-ups. So again, I will demonstrate the chair position first. So with our block outstretched in front of us, just a little bit more, so our legs are a little bit more straight, not all the way straight though. And bringing our bottoms just to like the middle of our chair, not the edge, but the middle, so we have a little bit more room to go back and forth. So we will do some Pilates roll-ups. So from here, arms overhead, palms facing each other, come down, engaging a little bit more of our upper core, and come back up, keeping our core engaged on the balls of your feet, perhaps to give you a little bit more challenge in your core. Come down, come back up, just keeping our core engaged. And keep doing this in the chair if you like. And if you would prefer a little bit more challenge, legs outstretched in front of you, arms overhead. Keep doing it in the chair if you like. And for our mat position, we will come back just to where we feel our core engage, maybe shake just a tiny bit, come back up. Always keeping our back, not feeling it in our back and having our core do all the work. So we don't want to strain our back. Just coming back again to where we feel our core engage and come back up. We'll do this for 3 more times. Come back, feeling our core engage. Come back up. Back until our core engages. And then roll back up. I believe this is our last one. Come back until our core engages. And come back up. Just to get a nice opposite stretch for our backs. If you are able, come to your mat onto your bellies. And if not, I will show you the chair position as well. So if you're able to come to your belly with your forehead on the mat, palms on either side underneath your shoulders, we'll just come to a baby cobra just to feel that opposite stretch in our back. And hold this. On the chair, we can get this same movement. Just using the backrest to feel the support. We will just come like press, like we're doing a small opposing position of cow, I guess we would say. Just bring your gaze up ever so slightly and come back down. It's a very small movement in the chair. Coming back to feeling the rest, the support of the backrest on your back. And so come to your either chair position or on the mat. We will come into our final resting pose or Shavasana. So in a comfortable position in your chair with your hands in your lap, or if you would like to come all the way down to the mat for Shavasana, make sure you do so safely, vertebrae by vertebrae, engaging those core muscles again. And from your comfortable seated position or laying down full Shavasana position, we will come into our final resting pose, which is called Shavasana. This gives us the opportunity to rest and for our muscles and our body to rebuild. And resting is so important to our health, and that opportunity for our body to rest and rebuild is really essential to our health. From here, we will just focus on releasing any more tension that we might be feeling in our bodies. Starting from our head, just melting into the mat, or just releasing any tension you might be feeling around your eyes or your jaw, down your neck, all the way to your shoulders, just letting it go, down your arms, all the way to your hands, just letting go and letting them be soft, and down your hips, just feeling the support of the chair or your mat, just letting it melt away, letting all the stress and tension melt away. And all the way down your legs, to your knees, all the way down to your feet, where your feet are making contact with the earth, or perhaps your heels that are just touching the floor. Just letting it go, feeling that support underneath you. We will remain here for a few breaths on your own. When you are ready, bring some movement back to your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, perhaps rocking your feet side to side, your legs side to side, maybe rolling your wrists, rocking your head back and forth gently. When you're ready, if you are on the mat, come to one side, to fetal position, and just rest here for a breath. And your upper arm towards the ceiling, push up with that arm so you can come up to a comfortable seated position. If you're already in a chair, you're already in a seated position. And we will end our practice acknowledging those that have practiced with us by saying Namaste, which is the light within me recognizes the light within you. So Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. And if you do have any questions or any comments, please unmute yourself and you can ask, or you can type them in there. And if not, that's okay too. I just want to give an opportunity for anybody to make any comments if you would like. And I will stop the recording too, so